Hi folks, this is mainly for the Ron Ranson Facebook page. I think I've created a bit of a confusion with my setup for my watercolours. Sorry that it's out of focus at the moment. Well, there's my tray. It's about 12 inches by 9. It's just a food display tray. My colours are moist, and I keep them moist by overnight or till I next use them. I've got this Ziploc bag with a bit of wet or moist, very moist toweling inside. And when I finish for the day, I just slip it back in the bag and pull the zip. I bought a packet of 5 of these. Some work better than others, but it keeps the tray, your watercolours workable. Apart from the colours that I don't really use very often, is burnt umber. That's quite hard, but that's about it really. I don't use a lot of alizarin, but I used that last Friday, so that's still a little bit moist because it was in the bag. Right now I don't know what I'm going to paint, so we'll start by just wetting the paper. Okay, now my hake's started to split now. Well, it's been splitting for a long time. Let's pull the loose hairs out, and I'll use a bit of, whoops, it's a bit dirty that. Okay, so it's quite a bright day today. We've had a lot of rain lately. UK, many parts are underwater. I want a bit more red in there. Right, now we'll add a bit of shadow. Still going to soften that. Okay. Now this is the £130 studio paper, Fabriano £130. It's a very good practice paper, very inexpensive compared to some of the artist qualities. I do prefer my £90 paper that I've been using, either rough or hot pressed. Let's just pull that tight. It's easier to stretch. This is quite stiff still. The water tends to stay on the surface of this paper before it dries in. Now I don't want to attack it any more than that, so I'll put in some distant hills. You don't need a lot of water on your brush for this. Let's get a bit darker than that. Touch of red. And we'll put a bit of burnt sienna. See, all nice and ready to go. Right, let's say a bit of Payne's grey and a chunk of burnt sienna. Oh, such a blue. And just put some distance in. Right, they'll just use that as a reflection in that lake that's appeared. Right, okay. Now it's soaking in now. I want to put in some more thick paint on that horizon there. You need plenty of water, bit of blue, bit of that stiffer raw burnt sienna. Okay, so there we are. We've got a bit of distance on there. Now I'm going to put in some hills from the side of that. I've done many of these, so this is why I'm free from. I'm not copying anything. I'm just doodling this really. But when you get to a stage where you've done so many paintings, you've got a library in your brain. Mine's not a very good library, I must admit. I haven't got a great imagination. You might think differently, but that's only because I've done years of this. I wish I was better than I am. But don't we all wish that? Let's see if I've got a little bit of card. I'm going to just see if I've got a little bit here. Right, let's put a little bit of a just some bits and pieces. Quite hard on the old wristlet. Okay, just a little bit of detail on the on that horizon. I'm not going to refine it any more than that. I might put a bit of gouache on it when it's dry. So let's dry it off now with a hairdryer, because we want harder edge stuff. We've got all the soft stuff there. Right, the paper's pretty flat now. Right, yeah, that's okay. Alright, I'm going to use my medium height now, I think. No, I'll stay with the large one, the large Ron Ranson height. And we want something coming across here to frame this vignette here. I call it vignette because it sort of bleeds out. So let's have a bit of nice warm colour. So yellow and right, now we've got some bit of darker Payne's grey, bit of Payne's in there. Bit of red and Payne's grey. Want some darks in there so that I can counter change some some light coloured rocks. Now you want dark, if you're going to scrape out rocks, you need some darks to go back to the white, to the paper. You can't do this with a lot of papers. Okay, put that out of the drink, get the little card, and okay, then we've got that little bit of a reflection there. I'll leave that to dry for a minute. I like to put some trees on here just to sort of but now we don't want anything to go as high as that on this side, or if we do very high, but we're just going to just carry on doing what we did, but I don't want a mirror image. So let's have a bit of green, bit of blue, bit of I'm not so bothered about creating anything exact. I'm trying to create an impression of sort of an edge of a lake. Right, now we've got some nice darks in there. A bit of red. Okay, that's coming all right. Let's put the clip back. Move that. Right, card plastic. Right, just another rocky shore. Now we've got to put the texture in, so I'll use my medium height for this. I'll dry that off first. So fast forward through this bit, folks, or mute your sound. It's a bit of a run there. Right. Want some dark green to counterchange against this much lighter area here. So Payne's grey, cad yellow, it's all about the amount of water you have in your brush. Also, a very light touch. Try to make them different. Hardly any water in the brush now. Alright, a bit on the other side, then I'll put some illusion of detail in there. This is all what it is really. But bigger one this side I think. You can tell the paper's dry now because it's taking a bit of dry brush. Put this one a bit bigger. Right, let's use the hake again. Large hake. And we'll have a bit of that dark colour. Payne's grey. I should have used a rig on that. I used I think a rigger for the other bit. I need a new rigger. This one has got about half the hairs that it used to have. It's been going for quite a while. Now we need a bit of a direction of light, so let's have the light coming from there. So let's have a right. Okay, so I always need plenty of rag. I've got the sort of call out for toweling. Not so much flannels, face flannels. Okay, let's I'll dry that off and give it a signature. So fast forward, go. Too dry. Just about see that. Right, let's have some points. Sort of calm water. I think a little tip is when you do your sky, you want the same intensity or more intense in the dry brush down here or in the wet here to reflect what's going on. It is tinted, but I suppose I could, if I'm careful, just take a little bit of a bit out of this. Well, that'll do. No, so those buildings are a bit naff. We should do something about those. I've got a little flat brush here somewhere. Flat brush, where are you? My old friend Alan Owen sent to me. Put a bit of white gouache on there, I think, slightly red. So it will show up as a roof, hopefully. Okay, that'll do. I'll put it in a mount and we'll have a look at it. Where's my bit of tape? Put the tape there so it doesn't fall down when I take the clips off. Then I'll take the camera up and we'll have a look. I've now got a new 8-month-old Samsung Galaxy S8 now. My daughter got it for me from a mother of a friend of hers or colleague of hers, who now they're still more a bit too similar, aren't they? And what I didn't know, and I've had a Samsung for some years now, had the S3, but it was so worn out. It worked, but this one is so fast. But what I didn't realise, that if you're out and about and you pay for a limited amount of data, which I do, say about £10 a month, I keep using it up within a day. And I phoned up the provider and I said, yeah, what's going on? He said, well, have you got your data usage turned off? I said, no, it's turned on. He said, well, that's why. Difference between data usage and Wi-Fi. So I'm going to make sure it's turned off most of the time now, because I don't do a lot of phoning when I'm out. If I do, I'll turn it on, then turn it off again, because it's always running, apparently. But what do I know? I'm just an old chap trying to come to terms with all this technology and pay through the nose for some of it. Anyway, I hope you like that one, folks. I'll get this one uploaded and I'll speak to you soon. And don't forget, you can, if you want to support me on Patreon, easy to get to, or buy a picture off of Etsy. I've got plenty on there. So I'll see you later. Thanks for looking in. Bye bye.